themselves, they call it terrorists. I am not surprised. You saw a man who was defending himself in one of the northern states, who was defending himself against terrorists, non-terrorists that were AK-47. This man succeeded in defending himself in the process, conquered them. Instead of allowing this man to go, they jailed the man they condemned the man by hanging because the man fought against terrorists to save his own life. They condemned the man. This news is online. Go and type on Google. You can Google it, you see the news. A man in one of the, I think from Middle Belt, who protected himself against the herdsmen. They attacked him and he fought back in self-defense. And the herdsmen lost his life. Instead of applying that self-defense, which is the man's right, upholding it, they turn it around and they condemn that man to death. Even Amnesty International, we are speaking about it. They were talking about it. These are crimes that Nigerian government are committing that the whole world know about, and yet they do nothing. The same way they are silent in the case of Mazi Nandekam. And Mazi Simon took it upon himself to continue to defend his people. We don't want our case to be like the case of the Jews. We don't want our case to be like the case of the Rwandans. We don't want our case to be like that of Kosovo. But what United Nations is waiting is for us. They want to confirm that we are all dead. Then they will come and use it and write a book that was a genocide in Biafra land. That is what they are waiting for. And Mazi Samaneka said, no, self-defense is our right. We are talking about a man that read international law. So there's no way he will make mistake in implementing self-determination and self-defense. A man that read international law, there is no way he will make mistake. He spoke about it several times. He knows the implication of making mistake. He knows everything about it. But today, because of selfish interests, economic interests, the Finland authority have decided to sell out our prime minister. In the verdict of the court, they said, in its verdict, the court said that Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku has used his significant social media following to stoke tension in Biafra region between August 2021 and November 2020. They said that it was Mazi Simon that has created tension. Since they detained Mazi Simon Ekpa for more than 9 months, has there not been tension in Biafra land? In entire Nigeria, so has there not been tension? Even before Mazi Simon Ekpa joined this struggle, there has been tension. How many people have they arrested? As we speak, the tension of the Fulani herdsmen has been for many, many years. It didn't start today. It started from the time Mazi Nandekam warned them to make sure they curb this insecurity or else it will get to other places. But they did nothing. Was it Mazi Simon Ekpa that was creating tension? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that brought ISIS in Nigeria? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that brought Mieti Allah? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that brought Boko Haram? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that brought ISWAP? But today, you can imagine what Finland is looking upon to pass the evil judgment they pass today, the injustice they pass today. You can see what they're looking upon. That Mazi Simon Ekpa stoke up tension in Biafra land. How did he stoke up tension? How? How? Up to today, as we speak, go to Okigwe today. What is happening in Okigwe? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that is in Okigwe today stoking tension? Many villages have been sacked in Biafra land, in the Middle Belt, in the north. Villages have been sacked. People have been sacked. IDP camp, people are living in IDP camp. In their own country, people have lived in their own country, living in IDP camp for 20 years. Some were born in IDP camp and they married in IDP camp. Was it Mazi Simon Ekpa? I am asking question. Was it Mazi Simon Ekpa, Finnish authority? Alex Stop. Was it Mazi Simon Ekpa? How does that amount to? How does the followership and the education that Mazi Simon Ekpa was given to his people to defend themselves, how does it amount to stopping tension? International law supports self-defense. In fact, go to the United States. That is where you see self-defense. It doesn't matter who you are. When you want to take somebody out, the person will take you out first. African peoples and human rights support self-defense. The zoology of the police. Even now, as we speak, we saw the chief of army staff come and say that everybody needs to be a combatant in Nigeria. Is Mazi Simon Ekpa around? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that is making them today to go and prepare and become a combatant? I want to ask you, is it because of Mazi Simon Ekpa that chief of army staff told the world, went to the national TV and tell people to go and train to be a combatant? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa? I am asking a question. Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa? I'm asking Finland authority, Alex, stop. Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that made the DG of SSS to tell the people that they should go and begin to guide themselves and prepare themselves? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa that is telling every village to get their vigilante? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa? Is it Mazi Simon Ekpa? But yet, because of economic interest and wickedness, Finland authority, under Alex Top, passed an injustice against an innocent man. Today is a black day. Today is a black day. One of those days you never believe it exists until it happened to you. One of those days that we believe in 21st century we will not see again. But look at it, in 21st century, look at what we are saying, what we are seeing. Look at the judgment that somebody is passing. In 21st century, if you are an African and you are in Europe, if you are an African and you are in Europe, now you know your fate. Mazi Simon Ekpa is not just an immigrant in Finland. He's not just a citizen of Finland. He has served in every level. He has served in every level without any single problem. Without any single bad record. Served in the military, served as a counselor. Have a law chamber where he's operating. With a clean slate. Upon all this, the Finland authority ignored all this and they pronounced injustice against him. Now, you that is in Europe, you are proud that you have a passport. You know your fate now, right? If Mazi Simon Ekpa can be treated in this way, now you can imagine. But I know the aim is to make you afraid of your freedom. The aim is to make us ashamed of our freedom. The aim is to make us scared of our freedom. That is the main objective. That is what they tend to achieve. And they are using Finland to achieve that. They want you to be afraid. They want you to get to a time when people will be scared to open their mouth and shout to Biafra. Just they are doing the same thing they are doing in Nigeria today. The same thing they are doing in Nigeria. And my fellow Biafran, people that are Biafran like you and I, are the ones that are in the forefront, pushing the agenda, sponsoring the agenda. In the forefront, content creators of Biafra origin, go and check their platform and see what they are doing. Content creators from Biafra origin, go to their platform and hear what they are saying and what they are doing. You will marvel. Force flag operation is not, it didn't start today. Nigerian force flag operation did not start today. We have video evidence to confirm their force flag operation. They conducted force flag operation against their own citizens during the NSAS. They conducted force flag operation during the time of bad governance. They conducted force flag operation against the Shite group. They conducted force flag operation against the Okuama people, Okuama innocent people. They did the same thing in Udi. Where haven't they done it? It didn't start with Biafran people. It didn't start. And upon all these things, even when we have evidence to prove that these destructions are done by Nigerian government, the terrorism is pushed by Nigerian government, the insecurity is sponsored and powered by Nigerian people, the Nigerian government sponsor and buy. The people that are sponsored, Nigerian government, sponsor financially, morally, and otherwise, they are the one pushing the insecurity. Even when this information is in the public, yet, go and see our people what they're saying. People of Igbo extraction, go and check their platform. Go to TikTok, you see many of them talking rubbish. That our people, we are the cause of the problem. That we are the ones killing ourselves. They are there providing information for, providing an excuse, not information, an excuse for Finland to do what they are doing. The division among us is providing excuse for Finland to do what they are doing. Instead of us to speak in one voice and focus, look the enemy in their eyes and tell them what they are. Look the enemy in their eyes and call them what they are without missing a word. We are busy chasing shadows. The false flag operation of the Janjaweed in Biafra land cannot be underestimated. We have seen it again and again and again and again and again. And it will continue to happen. Even as we speak, it is ongoing in Okiwe. It is happening in Okiwe, even as I speak. And upon that, Finland has all this information and they still stand on it. And they say that Mazi Simon is stoking up tension from 2021 to 2024. That was why they passed this evil judgment against him. It added that Ekpa was an influential member of Biafran separatist movement, which established armed group aimed at bringing about Biafra independence by force. So it is based on this that Finland decided to jail our prime minister. They said that our prime minister Simon Ekpa is an influential member of Biafran separatist movement. We are freedom fighters, we're not separatists. We are fighting for self-determination. We are not separatists. We are indigenous people of Biafra. That is whom we are. We have our nation and we are in our country. Which established armed group aimed at bringing about Biafra independence by force. They say aimed at bringing Biafra independence by force. So it is this by force. That is why and Finland got their independence from Russia by force, not by play. I have never seen any country that got their independence by joke. There is no country that got their independence by joke, including United States. Before United States could get their independence, they blew the British away from their land. Before Israel could be able to get their independence, they blew the British away from their land. So many other countries that you can think of, go to Germany, there was this force. The kingdom of God suffered violence, and only violent won't take it by force. That word is not just a Bible quotation. It is a reality. It is a reality in display. And we have seen countries where it worked. Nobody is going to dash you freedom. These people know it. They know. Finland know because they passed through the same process. Finland did not beg for freedom. Finland took their freedom from Russia by force. They fought war. Finland fought war with Russia. They fought them to be free. But because Mazi Simon Ekpa took refuge in their land, served them diligently, and now want to do the same thing they did to be free, they don't want him to be free. They want him to remain a slave under them. You see the double standard. That when it comes to the Biafran people, human right is no longer human rights. When it comes to Biafran people, genocide is no longer genocide. When it comes to Biafran people, humanity dies a natural death. We will never give up. I believe there are still men of conscience across the world. There are still a lot of men of conscience upon the world that will hear our voice and listen to our complaints. And Chukwu Okikabiyama will bear us witness. It says the district court's ruling further noted that Ekpa had supplied these groups with weapons, explosive, and ammunition through the network of contacts in the region. And he was also found to have encouraged the followers on social media platform X to commit crime in Nigeria. Just imagine. On where did the Mazi Simon Ekpa permit people to encourage people to commit crime? Where we are on planet Earth, on which video? The only thing that Mazi Simon have always advocated is self-defense, that we should not fold our hands when you see something that want to harm you. When somebody comes to take your life, don't fold your hand. Fight as much as you can to survive. That was the message of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa is living in Finland. How did Mazi Simon Ekpa supply ammunition from Finland to anybody in Biafra land? Was it Finland authorities? Maybe the Finland government were the one that supplied the ammunition. Because with the security architecture of Finland and everything, they are supposed to know. If Mazi Simon Ekpa was transporting any arm from their country, they should have known. When you read this, you see that everything is based on speculation. And the people that provided all the speculations are Nigerian agents. Nigeria, that their human rights stands zero. And yet, Finland court based their judgment on what they got from Nigeria, a terrorist government. You can imagine that Mazi Simon Ekpa supplied the group with weapons, explosives, and ammunitions through the network of contact in the region. You can imagine. These are information cooked up and handed over to them, and they read it verbatim. The same way they were given is how they read it. You can see what they base their judgment on. Ekpa, a long-time resident of Lati and one-time local councillor, committed these crimes from the Finnish city. The verdict added, meaning the Finland court had jurisdiction in the case. You can imagine. What crime are they talking about? What evidence do they have? Where? All this are baseless accusations without any fact. That a man that is fighting for his freedom, asking his people to defend themselves the best. This same call of self-defense, Danjuma is making the same call in Nigeria. Will you now say that when the people from Danjuma hometown defend themselves, will you now say that Danjuma gave them ammunition? General Danjuma, former chief of army staff in Nigeria, in public, in so many series of videos, have told their people, at a stage, he told their people, go and get your own ammunition the same way the terrorists get their own. Go and get your own and defend yourself. When the people go ahead and protest and say, are you now going to come and say that Danjuma is the one that gave them ammunition? Will you now come and say Danjuma gave them ammunition? But you can imagine what an European country based their judgment on. You can imagine what they base their judgment on. Very laughable. This is injustice of the highest order. You have the jurisdiction, and this is what you could come out for. This is what you come out for. The same thing Norway is doing to Joe Ayoba. These tiny countries that have nothing to offer, that cannot feed themselves. These beggarly countries that are barely begging for survival. These are the ones they are using as their footstool. The same thing is what Norway is doing to Joe Ayoba today. Ekpa had denied all the charges in court. Born in Biafra, he moved to Finland in 2007 as an athlete. The court on Monday also convicted him of aggravated tax. They also charge him for tax. They charge him for tax fraud. This tax fraud, we saw them, they brought in. You know the funny thing? When Mazi Simon Ekpa was arrested, there was no evidence whatsoever. All these things begin to come out after they held Mazi Simon Ekpa 6 months. They begin to fish. They begin to fish for evidence. Begin to fish for hawk for evidence everywhere. They said they also convicted him of fraud, tax fraud. Of tax fraud. This is a man who has been there since 2007. With all their technology and anything, you never saw him committing any tax fraud. And you know how tax works. When they want to get you on tax, any country that want to get you on tax, you can't escape it. Remember, even Donald Trump of the United States, that is the president today, was also indicted in tax. There was a time they called him a time that he committed fraud in tax. So when you look at all this, you see this is a politically motivated attack, sponsored by federal government of Nigeria, and which Finland government have bought into because of their economic interest. The district court verdict is not final, meaning it can be appealed to a higher court. And I believe that we are going to go for appeal. It doesn't matter how long it takes. We will go for appeal. We are going to appeal. Whatever they have said is unacceptable. It remains unacceptable. This is injustice of the highest order. I don't care what they say or what they do. Every one of us know the truth. Self-defense is the right of every human being. International law supports self-defense. African peoples and human rights law supports self-defense. The Zoological Republic Nigeria also supports self-defense. So I don't know why, in the case of Biafra, self-defense becomes a crime. I can't explain that. Can somebody tell me why self-defense will be a crime when it comes to the issue of Biafra? Why? With all this thing I read here, you can see that every single thing they are throwing at Mazi Simon Ekpa is baseless. It's based on speculation. They said and they say and they did not say. And Finland, because of the desperation for gas, oil, and petrol, because of the gas in Biafra land, they signed their contract of how many years they want to sign. But I tell you, it is not Uhuru yet. It is not Uhuru yet. It is not Uhuru. Every single Biafra, you must tighten up your belt. The major thing they want to do is to make you scared of asking for your freedom. They want you to be scared of asking for freedom. They want you to be shy of talking about. Listen to what they did to Mazen Nandekano, then you understand. This one with his own people, though, his own brothers, what they did to him. What they did to him. To make sure he became ashamed of Biafra so that he will not fight for Biafra again. Today, the international communities are doing the same thing. The global conspiracy today, they want to make it in such a way that those of us, even those of us living abroad, will be scared of coming to support the Biafran people. We'll be scared of talking about our freedom. They want to criminalize self-determination. That is what they are doing. What is happening in Biafra land cannot happen in any other part of the world and they will be silent. No. As we speak, innocent children, mothers, old and young, are dying in Biafra land. Even as you're watching me, people